I always have quotes and receipts for these Red Sea defenders, right?
Oh, lovely.
And
Let's hear it.
I'm going to read this one verbatim because
Nice.
it made me chuckle, because they don't say it, but I immediately knew, right? I immediately knew what they were on about. So to give context, this was on the Xbox Series X forum, and it was wishing Sea of Thieves a happy birthday, and a new player or prospective player said, "Oh, this game looks really good. How is it solo?" And someone turned around and obviously gave their very skewed opinion, and they said, "Game is better than ever, but it has incredibly steep grinds for minimal reward." That's probably fair. They've doubled down on the PvP aspect over the last few seasons, so if that's what you want, then that is great, but PvE has suffered for it. You do not want to be playing solo, though. The last one's probably fair enough for a new player.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I just said, this is an incredibly skewed take. Season 8 actually directed most sweats into the PvP mode, where they will queue to fight each other. Season 9 just added a bunch of quality of life improvements, most of which aim to make solo play less tedious. World events scale with crew sizes, and the Harpoon allows you to load up loot quicker. Now is the best time ever to dip your toe into Sea of Thieves. This was the response. PvE was sidelined by the Adventures FOMO start before the PvP content was added. Possibly. Then multiple quality of life updates have been made to further reward PvP players and remove remove tools PvE players used to dissuade PvP players from being so aggressive. What do you think they mean by that?
Oh my god. There's one tool that I can think of.
Yeah, getting rid
quote
of
unquote.
And I said PvE content was added in every single update right up until Season 8. That's something like 25 plus named updates. PvP gets one update, and Season 9 stops people from running into the Red Sea, the equivalent of flipping the chessboard when losing, and suddenly the devs are pushing them away. And then he just came back with, making smaller PvE content that disappears after 2 weeks, instead of adding tool tales, is a clear walk away from PvE content, alongside pandering unnecessarily to the PvP whiners.
Wow.
Pandering to the whiners who haven't received an update in 4 years. Like, what is he talking about?
Just to summarize, and I just said, spoken like a true Red Sea runner, and they said, denial is a viable tactic. If the loot isn't mine until I sell it, then it isn't yours either. Red Sea was a good punish for over-hungry PvPers, same as scuttling to deny supplies.
Oh, wow.
Now the game rewards toxic players and removes any agency from PvE players, making them nothing more than farms for PvP players.
So can I just say something about that too? This is one of my favorite things, is that Red Sea runners, this is the psychology of Red Sea runners I've thought about a lot, which is just that they didn't, when I made like the Red Sea video like a year ago, I got somebody, denial as a tactic, or when the chessboard example gets used a lot, and then people would say, I'm very much at the camp, you're flipping the game board over. Other people would be like, no, it's like forcing a stalemate. And I'm like, no, it's not. One, you can get the loot from the Red Sea. It's hard, but you could usually get it.
Yeah.
But then two, the other thing is that the Red Sea runners, their entire argument is built around this concept of moral punishment against players who are engaging in piracy in a pirate game. But also, more than that, though, it seems like the assumed argument is that they are presuming the like psychological state of the people who are chasing them.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I'm chasing someone, I have no idea what loot you have. I want to sink you. If you run into the Red Sea, okay, like I'm gonna laugh and like think, oh, that's pretty lame. I'll go back to playing Sea of Thieves. I played the game to hang out with my friends. My day isn't ruined because you did that. So I think it's absolutely psychotic to base your incentive structure when you're playing a game on like the assumed psychological state of other players. That is like absolutely bonkers to me. And anyone who I've talked to who's like pro Red Sea running, that's basically the foundation of their argument. Is like I get satisfaction out of this imagined emotional state that I'm projecting onto someone who's chasing me in pirate game, is like what the actual argument is. Whereas like the argument against it is like, hey, it's kind of bad sportsmanship, man. I mean, the other thing I think of is like, if you don't want to get rolled by a bigger ship, play on a bigger ship.
Yeah.
The game was built around galleons. Like, sorry, it's a co-op game. I don't see why it's like anyone who plays solo in Sea of Thieves reminds me of like, you're booting up PUBG or Apex and you're like volunteering to do go into a solo into a team-based mode, right? Like I'm going to play, in a match where most people have teams of 3, but I'm opting to do solo because I want a harder challenge. That's what you're doing. So yeah, I can't agree with you anymore, Ray. It's so good. Yep, I'm totally with you on that.
I think a lot of it sort of stems from a poor locus of control where you sign up to play a game that looks like a pirate game known for stealing from other people. And it's everyone else's fault that they're better than you when the game's 5 years old and you've been playing for 5 years. That's their fault. That's not your problem. And they should go easy on you because, or they should leave you alone, or they shouldn't attack you because you signed up and you just wanted to chill and sail around and get easy loot. It's not what the game's about. It's the same as if you're playing a game of Call of Duty and you're getting your ass kicked by the enemy, so you DDoS the server. So no one wins. It's like, oh yeah, but you didn't beat me. I managed to DDoS the server. Like, I flipped the game board. It's exactly the same thing.
Yep.
But like you said, projecting someone's intent for playing a game, how it was designed, into demonizing them is just such a weird thought process.
Yeah.
Me and Blubber got sunk the other day because we picked on the wrong crew, right? And
Did we?
Yeah, when we went to the Reaper's hideout with all our loot, and we thought we'd get an easy Reaper 5 flag, that sloop that had the ghost curse and the skeleton curse.
Yeah.
They were really good players.
Yeah.
We didn't begrudge them and go and make a Reddit post because they sunk us when we bit off more than we can chew. It happens to everyone.
Yeah.
But I just never been in the right mind to make a Reddit post about it or try and lie to someone else and dissuade them from trying a game because you suck at it.
And in a way, that's part of the fun, right? Because you never know the skill level of the other ship.
It's a sandbox game. Like, you never know what you're going to get with a session of Sea of Thieves, and that's why it's fresh every time. And the developers know that as well. And most community members understand that as well, and that's why they like the game.
Aye. Shall we bring it back to Season 9?
Yeah, just quickly. I just like how the developers turned around one day and thought, you know what? Them Red Sea runners.